Okay, so today we are gonna be looking into simultaneous raid. So I am on the creator server, by the way, right? But I do know that simultaneous raid did come out today or yesterday, depending on when you're watching this, right? For me, I believe the simultaneous raid dropped like around 24 hours ago on the global servers. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail on what the mode is, right? I think most of you already are familiar with how it works. However, what I will be doing is showcasing my team, which allowed me to reach 134,000 scores. So I unfortunately did that run in the simulation room, so it didn't record my highest score as a regular, right? But yeah, it beat the 250% difficulty in exactly 33 seconds, and it allowed me to get 134,000 score, which you can see on the screen right now. I'm hoping I don't forget to put up the screenshot there. And yeah, I've tested several teams and I found that a win team based on Scarlet and Azusa works the best. So I will be showcasing the run, explain a little bit of how I do things in that run, showcase you the Nexus build, as well as I'll leave the full uncut run at the end, so you can just watch that one if you don't want to hear my commentary, right? Now, first of all, I do have to give a big shout out to the Discord user Marek, who is very active on the Ash Echoes Discord channel. You may have already seen a lot of the guys he posts there. I'll make sure to leave his Billy video channel in the description as well, because he is a player from the China server and he does have insight on a lot of the team compositions that they use, and he was able to help me out with this a lot as well. So make sure to check him out, make sure to show him some love. But yeah, let's jump into the run. Oh, and before we go further, I'll quickly showcase the levels of like ascension, skill levels, and all of that, right? So we need a total of 7 units. We have used Scarlet, we have used Azusa, we have used Freda. You can see the skill levels right here, right? So I'm quickly just gonna scroll through them. You can pause at any moment and check their levels here, but yeah, this is the unit levels that I've used. Next up, this is the build that I used for the run itself, right? It's a pretty decent build, I have to say, and it does rely on pretty much, first of all, building up the wind damage through this. So let me quickly find which trace that was exactly. So yeah, Dusk Radiance. So you need 2 traces for building up wind damage, and then you need 1 extra trace, which will improve your damage a lot. So you may have already checked and you may already know about the wind build, where you have to build up resistance reduction. So when applying elemental resistance reduction, your target takes extra damage, and from Blood River Secret, dealing wind damage will apply that wind reduction. And unfortunately, the only unit that can work with these trace combos is Azusa, so you have to have her in the team as well. She builds up the reduction, and your Scarlet is able to do a lot of damage on top of that. Next up, I've used some Inspire traits, but one very important thing for my version of the build is also using My Vision is Clear, because we are relying on the electroconduct mechanic in here, which will pretty much double our damage at the maximum level, right? Okay, and this is the team that I've used. You can see Scarlet, Azusa, Fury, and Fernie as a temporary unit to place the water field. We have Pris and Yuki to trigger a lot of elements, as well as a combo increasing damage, Freda for a massive damage boost, and Boss for a massive damage boost plus ultimate gauge boost, right? This is the team I've used. In the run, I will showcase you the 34-second run, because unfortunately the 33-second run I wasn't recording. However, the concept is exactly the same. It's just that I probably may have clicked here and there a few milliseconds faster, which ended up with the 33-second run. But you'll get the general strategy of what I do in this one. So let's launch the run and let's look into how it works. I'll try to explain everything step by step, and later on I'll just leave an unedited run so you can check it out quickly, right? So for the first 4 units that we are using, this will be our team. Later on we're gonna be switching out Fude, we're gonna be switching out Pris, and after all of that we're gonna be switching out, I believe, yeah, I'm gonna switch out Boss, and then Boss will replace, or rather Yudi will replace a Boss, right? So first of all, what you want to do is, for the placement, doesn't really matter. I just like having both of my damage dealers in there, right? And the very first thing you do is you place a water field with Fude. And when you use the skill, don't actually move it, leave it by default, because the placement is actually really good for it. After that, you can switch it out. I usually switch it out to Freda because this allows me to build up the stacks pretty quickly. Next up, what I'm doing is I'm doing a double combo skill with Pris, and this, first of all, it triggers the electroconduct, which disables their movement for a bit. On top of that, it is gonna be hitting the puppet quite a bit, and since the puppet takes damage only like every second or so, Pris's skills are kind of unique because this field, it will trigger the damage multiple times, right? Which means that by just using that skill once and then using the combo skill, you're able to pretty much just fully destroy the puppet's HP every second. As you can see, it's taking damage from the electroconduct constantly happening. During this, I'm just building stacks, so I'm building combo stacks with Scarlet, I'm building combo stacks with Pris, I'm building a support inspired stacks from just using Freda skills repeatedly, right? Do not worry, go for as many attack based skills as you want, because later on you're gonna get your ultimate quite fast, and one ultimate will last you the whole game. After I've used 2 combos, I switch in Boss instead of Pris, because first of all, she no longer has a combo possible, and second of all, I will have another electroconduct triggerer for later on. That will be Yudi after Boss has used up all his skills, right? Next up, I use some Boss. I only recommend using Boss once before the Boss splits, right? Because it's so confusing, because his name is Boss and I refer to Saphonis as Boss, right? Before Saphonis splits into the 3 initial butterflies, because you will have your ultimate with Scarlet ready, and Scarlet ultimate is actually able to cover 2 of the clones. So this means that as soon as the clone spawns, you will have 2 of them dead, and the third one will be quite easily beaten with just basic attacks from Scarlet and Azusa. And you will notice, I believe, I will hit the clone right here and the clone right here with my ultimates, and the reason I do that, let me see if I actually do that. Oh no, for this one I actually use the combo, right? But if you do hit the ultimate, I recommend hitting the what's it called? The clones further away from you, because if both of your wind units are placed here, they will be able to easily build up the stacks as well as do massive damage to the third clone as well. And after the third clone is dead, I use all of my ultimates, I use all my combo skills. You can see the damage you're doing is massive, since we do have a Freda buff, we do have a Boss buff. I use up all the ultimates, and then I will use the Boss's skill again. He only has 2 skills. You can use his ultimate. I like to use him. I mean, he uses his ultimate when he dies, so don't make sure to not use his ultimate before you've used both of his active skills, right? But yeah, using the Boss, then I believe I will use the ultimate. The ultimate is actually, for my Boss at least, is able to kill all of the clones, since it is an AoE damage and it is doing pretty decent damage in itself. As you can see, 5 million damage per clone. And yeah, Boss dies. After Boss is dead, you can switch in your last electric unit, which is Yuri. This guy will be able to trigger electroconduct on the Boss, and if the Boss is electrocuted, as you know, based on the my vision is clear trace, the Boss will be taking double damage from the units, right? And after that, after the clones are dead, you're essentially just building up wind resistance stacks on the Boss, and you're doing majority of the damage with Scarlet, right? At this point, when you're like fully inspired, buffed, and all of that, even if she does spawn the clones, right, they will be one shot from basic attacks pretty much, right? And the reason why the wind team worked the best for me compared to something like, I've tried a fire team, I've tried a physical damage team, a corrosion team, none of them were even close to this performance, is because a lot of the damage here relies on skills, and once you are able to do damage with skills, you are able to essentially like pause the game when using them, and they have sort of a more concentrated burst, whereas with corrosion skills, you sort of rely on basic attacks. Basic attacks take time to happen, and a lot of time has passed, but as you can see, 34 seconds in, the last life is finishing, and there we go. This is a 34-second run, same concept for the 33-second run that I've shown earlier. And yeah, this is the best team that I've found. If you do have suggestions for an even faster team, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I do want to see what people plan on using when the 250% difficulty becomes available tomorrow. And yeah, if you have no clue of what teams to use and this video did help you, please make sure to leave a like, let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's about it, and I'll see you in more Echoes videos in the future. Peace.